Timber Scouts are vital members of our forest management community. They work to ensure that our beautiful woodlands remain healthy and vibrant for both people and wildlife. These skilled individuals have a deep understanding of forest ecosystems, helping to monitor tree growth, track animal populations, and identify changes in the environment. Their expertise allows them to provide valuable insights into how best to care for these natural resources. Wildlife conservation is at the heart of a Timber Scout's mission. They recognize that our forests are home to countless species, each playing a unique role in the ecosystem. Timber Scouts strive to protect these habitats from overharvesting and other threats. By maintaining balanced ecosystems, they ensure that all creatures, from the smallest insects to majestic bears, can thrive. In their daily work, Timber Scouts often encounter various challenges, such as logging companies pushing for more land use or rising concerns about climate change. This balance between human needs and wildlife preservation makes their job crucial. For example, they might persuade loggers to adopt sustainable practices that minimize damage to animal habitats. Moreover, Timber Scouts educate the public about the importance of forests. They lead workshops and community events, sharing stories and knowledge about the animals that call the forest home. Their efforts help foster an appreciation for nature, inspiring others to become stewards of the environment. This commitment to conservation recently came into sharp focus with a troubling incident involving a bear cub caught in a steel trap. The actions taken by one brave Timber Scout not only highlighted their dedication but also sparked intense discussions about wildlife management within the community. As we delve deeper into this story, we will examine how this event could affect both the bear population and local attitudes toward conservation efforts. One sunny morning, as the Timber Scout made his usual rounds through the thick forest, he heard an unusual sound echoing through the trees. It was a distressed whimpering, unlike anything he had encountered before. Curiosity piqued, he followed the sound, his heart racing with concern. When he reached a small clearing, he found the source, a young bear cub caught in a steel trap. The sight of the frightened cub tugged at his heartstrings. The little creature looked up with wide, pleading eyes, and the scout felt a wave of urgency wash over him. He quickly assessed the situation, realizing that time was of the essence. Leaving the cub in pain could lead to severe injury or even death, not just from the trap but also from potential predators lurking nearby. As he approached cautiously, the scout's mind raced with thoughts about what to do next. He knew that freeing the cub would require careful handling to avoid further distress or injury to both himself and the animal. With gentle words and slow movements, he gained the cub's trust enough to get closer. He took a deep breath and prepared to pry open the trap. With each click of metal against metal, he felt a mix of fear and determination. Would this bear cub survive? Could he really help it? Finally, after several tense moments, he succeeded in releasing the trap. The cub stumbled out, visibly shaken but free. The scout felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over him as he watched it scamper back into the safety of the trees. This incident left a lasting impact on him and prompted deeper questions about wildlife management and conservation efforts in their community. It ignited conversations about how they could better protect these creatures and their habitats, paving the way for new discussions about hunting regulations and fur syndicate demands that would follow soon after. In the aftermath of the bear cub incident, the conversation in the community took a sharp turn when the fur syndicate stepped into the spotlight. This group, made up of trappers and hunters, issued a bold demand for a pelt tax on all bear pelts collected in the region. Their motivation was clear. They believed that imposing a tax would regulate the bear population more effectively while also generating revenue for local wildlife management programs. The Fur Syndicate argued that by taxing bear pelts, they could contribute to conservation efforts. Funds raised from the tax could be used to protect habitats and support wildlife rehabilitation initiatives, including programs aimed at helping animals like the bear cub that had been freed. The prospect of a designated fund raised interest among some community members who wanted to see meaningful investment in local wildlife preservation. However, this proposal was not without its controversies. Many residents were concerned about the potential economic impact on hunters and trappers who relied on selling pelts for their income. The fear was that an added tax would discourage local participation in hunting, as they worried it would cut into their profits. This created a divide within the community. Some viewed the pelt tax as a crucial step toward protecting wildlife, while others saw it as an unfair burden on those who relied on hunting for their livelihoods. The fur syndicate's demands sparked heated debates at town meetings. Supporters of the tax argued that sustainability should come first, emphasizing that preserving the environment ultimately benefits everyone. On the other hand, opponents voiced concerns about government overreach and how it might harm traditional ways of life. As discussions progressed, tension grew around the balance between conservation goals and economic realities, setting the stage for a larger conversation about how best to manage wildlife in a changing world. As discussions intensified around the proposed pelt tax and hunting regulations, a clear divide emerged within the community. Hunters voiced their concerns passionately, arguing that strict regulations could threaten their way of life. For many, hunting was not only a tradition passed down through generations but also a means of providing food for their families. They felt that adding more rules would limit their ability to hunt efficiently, leading to financial strain and possibly even driving local hunters out of business. In stark contrast, conservationists emphasized the need for responsible hunting practices to protect wildlife populations. They argued that hunting should be regulated to ensure balance in the ecosystem. Many expressed concern over the declining numbers of certain species and highlighted that sustainable hunting could coexist with conservation efforts. These advocates pushed for stricter hunting limits and seasons, viewing them as necessary to preserve the environment for future generations. Timber Scouts found themselves in a unique position amidst these debates. They held expertise in both forestry management and wildlife conservation, making their voices essential in the discussion. Many scouts supported responsible hunting practices, believing that well-regulated hunting could actually benefit wildlife management by keeping populations in check. They stressed the importance of collaboration between hunters and conservationists, urging both sides to find common ground. As town meetings filled with passionate speeches and heated exchanges, it became evident that finding a solution would not be easy. Some community members suggested forming a committee that included representatives from all sides to discuss concerns and develop a comprehensive wildlife management plan. This proposal sparked hope among some, as they believed that through dialogue, the community could create regulations that respected both the heritage of hunting and the urgent need for conservation. The outcome of these discussions would play a crucial role in shaping the future relationship between the community and its wildlife. As discussions continued about wildlife management, another important topic emerged: the role of rifles in bear management. In many regions, rifles have been a tool for controlling bear populations, especially in areas where bears pose risks to livestock or human safety. Proponents of using rifles argue that they provide a quick and effective means of managing animal numbers, which is crucial for balancing ecosystems. Supporters emphasize that when used properly, rifles can help manage bear populations that have grown too large for the available habitat. Overpopulation can lead to increased human-bear encounters, resulting in dangerous situations for both species. By hunting some bears, wildlife managers aim to reduce these risks while maintaining healthier animal populations. However, the use of rifles as a management tool has sparked a heated debate within the community. Opponents argue for more humane methods of animal control, such as relocation or non-lethal deterrence. They believe that shooting bears, especially when it involves cubs or family groups, can create unnecessary suffering and disrupt local ecosystems. These advocates often push for methods that allow wildlife to coexist with humans without resorting to lethal measures. Timber Scouts find themselves navigating this complex landscape. Many believe that while rifles can be a necessary tool in certain situations, they should be used sparingly and only as a last resort. They advocate for education on bear behavior and the importance of living harmoniously with wildlife. As the community grapples with these contrasting views, it became clear that finding common ground is essential. Many voiced a desire for a comprehensive approach that includes both responsible hunting practices and humane alternatives. Exploring various strategies could ultimately lead to a more sustainable solution for managing bear populations while ensuring the safety of both wildlife and human residents. In the wake of the Timber Scouts' decision to cut off the trap from the bear cub, the local community reacted with a mix of emotions, reflecting their deeply held beliefs about wildlife management. Many residents admired the Scouts' bravery and compassion in rescuing the cub, viewing his actions as a testament to a commitment to protecting local wildlife. This group organized rallies and community meetings, raising awareness about the need for better wildlife protection laws and calling for stricter regulations on trapping. However, not everyone shared this enthusiasm. Some in the community viewed the incident differently, arguing that freeing the cub could lead to a rise in bear populations and increased encounters with humans. These individuals expressed concern that such actions might foster a false sense of security around bears, prompting more human-bear conflicts. Local hunters and trappers voiced their frustration at what they perceived as an attack on traditional practices and livelihoods. Tensions escalated as protesters gathered at town hall meetings, chanting slogans that emphasized wildlife protection alongside calls for responsible hunting practices. Supporters of conservation rallied behind the idea that the community must find a balance between human needs and wildlife preservation. Discussions became heated, with both sides passionately defending their viewpoints. In response to these growing tensions, some community leaders proposed forming a wildlife advisory board that would include members from all perspectives: hunters, conservationists, timber scouts, and local residents. The goal was to create an open space for dialogue where all voices could be heard. This initiative sparked hope among many who believed that through collaboration, they could work together toward effective solutions for managing wildlife while respecting traditions rooted in hunting. As discussions continued, it became clear that this incident had not only highlighted divisions but also opened up new opportunities for collaboration within the community on how best to protect both people and animals living side by side in their shared environment. The future of the bear cub freed by the Timber Scout is uncertain and highlights the critical need for rehabilitation and care for wild animals. After escaping the steel trap, the cub may face several challenges in its journey back to a normal life in the wild. Initially, it will likely experience physical trauma from its ordeal, which may require medical attention to ensure that it can properly heal and regain strength. Wildlife rehabilitation centers are essential in these cases. These facilities provide the necessary care, including medical treatment, nutrition, and a safe environment for young animals like the bear cub. Rehabilitation specialists understand bear behavior and needs, allowing them to create a tailored recovery plan that prepares the cub for eventual release back into its natural habitat. However, simply freeing an animal is not enough. There must also be a plan in place to monitor its adaptation to life in the wild. The cub will need opportunities to learn essential survival skills, such as foraging for food and avoiding potential dangers. Experts often work on gradual acclimatization processes that allow these animals to adjust while still under observation. Community involvement plays a vital role in the success of such rehabilitation efforts. Educating local residents about wildlife behavior and the importance of coexistence can foster a supportive environment for rehabilitated animals. If people understand that young bears like this cub are learning how to live without human assistance, they may be more inclined to respect their space and minimize conflicts. Ultimately, if all goes well, the cub could grow into a healthy adult bear capable of thriving in its natural environment. Its successful recovery would serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of wildlife conservation efforts and could inspire both residents and visitors alike to support ongoing initiatives aimed at protecting local wildlife populations. The story of the bear cub and the Timber Scout serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between conservation, hunting, and the needs of the community. Throughout the narrative, themes of compassion and responsibility emerge, highlighting how human actions can significantly impact wildlife. The Timber Scout's brave decision to free the cub reflects a deep commitment to protecting local ecosystems, showcasing the role that individual choices play in conservation efforts. Moreover, the community's response underscores the complexity of managing wildlife in a way that respects both animal welfare and traditional practices. The heated debates surrounding the proposed Pelt tax and the role of rifles in bear management reveal differing perspectives on how best to achieve harmony between human interests and wildlife needs. While hunters emphasize their livelihoods and traditions, conservationists advocate for sustainable practices that protect animal populations and habitats. The proposal for a wildlife advisory board illustrates an important step toward collaborative problem solving. By bringing together diverse voices, hunters, conservationists, timber scouts, and local residents, the community can work toward solutions that honor both heritage and environmental stewardship. This idea of collaboration is vital, as it fosters understanding and respect for different viewpoints while nurturing a shared goal, to ensure a thriving ecosystem. As the story wraps up with reflections on the bear cub's uncertain future, it prompts readers to consider the ongoing responsibilities people have toward wildlife. Rehabilitation efforts not only represent a chance for individual animals but also signify a broader commitment to coexistence. The emphasis on community involvement and education reinforces that effective wildlife management requires collective action and awareness. Ultimately, this tale encourages all stakeholders to engage in meaningful dialogue, bridging gaps between various interests, and striving for a future where both wildlife and human communities flourish together. The key takeaway is that through understanding and collaboration, it is possible to find solutions that benefit both nature and humanity.